My name's Verk. I love games. Welcome to Tales from My Table. So today I want to talk about one of my games. I run two D&D games right now, which is really odd for me considering I never run two before in my life, but whatever, this is kind of what's happening. I run one custom kind of my own game thing for some friends. It's D&D 5 in a Eberron system, kinda. But saying that is, I think, offensive to Keith Baker, considering he had this wonderful, elaborate, fantastic thing, and mine is like Forgotten Realms with Warforged and The Morning and Shinar. Sharn. Call it Sharn in the book, right? Not in my world. Anyway, sorry. So yeah, it's just kind of that's that one game, which I'll talk about later, I'm sure. The other game is a Dragon Heist game, kinda loosely, with my own flair to it, I guess. Anyway, so fair warning, spoilers now. We're gonna talk about it. The reason that I love role-playing games, specifically tabletop role-playing games, right, is that you never know what's gonna happen. But the downside is you never know what's gonna happen. So you get in situations where maybe what your player thinks and what you think are different. And that's what happened in the first game of our Dragon Heist. So let me kind of set the scene. The bartender of the Yawning Portal, Mr. Mutton Chops, as he was affectionately called in our game, was fighting this troll. And our group was fighting a bunch of sturges. And the barkeep yelled out, "Get the fire! Help me kill this thing." Because, side point, in my world, trolls can only be killed by fire. So you can have the thing pinned to the ground with a sword through its heart and it's still not going to die unless you have fire. So, anyway, side point. Back to the point. So, my fighter Nero is like, I'm going to take my oil flask and I'm going to take my tinder box and make a Molotov cocktail and I'm going to throw it at him. So I'm like, yeah, that's cool. But I don't think he can do it in 6 seconds. And I felt so bad about it because I try to encourage creative thinking, but not at the expense of a whole turn, like abstract out of reality. I don't know. It was weird. So anyway, in my fantastic wisdom, I'm like, well, actually, why don't you can do one of two things. I'm like, you can make your Molotov cocktail, but not be able to throw it yet because of timing. Or you could maybe throw the oil lamp on him and get the oil all over the troll, and then maybe someone else can light it. So I thought this was a great idea, right? I was like, hey, so now I'm like including other people in the thing, right? So the rogue or the bard could do something to cause fire on something cool that the warrior did, right? He wasn't so keen on it. Like, he kind of like not argued with me, but like pushed the point. Like, really tried hard to get me to break down and let him do that. And I don't know. It was weird. Like, I felt like I was letting him down, which is not what I want to do. The whole point of playing role-playing games is to have this not power fantasy, but like this fantasy of how cool this can be. Right? Like, I want to jump over the table and slide down the banister and jump up and throw fireballs and, like, do the whole thing. But, I don't know. I guess I did that wrong. In retrospect, I was thinking about it. And in my games, I take the Benny system from Savage Worlds, and I kind of just, like, scoot it right into D&D 5. It's probably not the most effective way of doing it because there's already inspiration in the game, which works in a very similar way. But I like bennies. I like the idea of having a coin or an item, right, that says, like, this is I'm going to take control of the narrative point. And that's super cool. So I think that I could have taken that coin and been like, okay, Nero, who's our warrior, okay, why don't you give me that item, right? He had one. I was like, why don't you give that to me? And then you could have done the whole thing in your turn. I think that might have been the better option. I don't know. Maybe? Anyway, it turned out to where he took the oil and he threw it onto the troll, which was super cool, and he nailed it. And then the rogue came running across the room, slid next to the hearth, stuck her arrow into the fire, turned around, wah, and shot it across the room, slamming right into the troll. We went up in this burst of fire. And it was cool. And the rogue was happy, and she got to do something rad. And the warrior was happy-ish, right? Nero was okay with the fact that he did something. I don't know. I feel like there might have been more I could have done here. But one of the things about D&D, and I should say RPGs in general, right, is as the DM, you always feel like there's choices that you made that aren't the best. And I feel like those choices are the things that you should think about and try to figure out if you could do it better. So I don't know. Maybe you know. Maybe you have an idea of what I could have done better in that situation to make him not feel so like I was stifling his creativity. Or maybe you think I did a good job. Or maybe you think I am dog crap. I don't know. You tell me. I guess that's it. I don't have anything else to say on the matter at the moment. So, if you like this content, if you liked hearing my weird ramblings about Dungeons and Dragons and things I could have done better, please comment down below. You'll also find down below links to my Twitch, which I'm trying to do on Tuesdays and Thursdays at about 8:30 a.m. Pacific, but we'll see how that goes. And again, I'm Burke. Thanks for watching.